Hi, Nayiri. I'm so happy to see you today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me, Lucie. Thank you. And it's great. You asked about weight loss. Now, I don't lose weight. It's interesting, right? I mean, even with a 100-hour fast, I didn't lose weight. What I did lose, though, is abdominal fat. And I think that's fascinating. And that's, in fact, people are motivated to lose weight, right? When they go on the scale, they want to lose weight, they want to fit into a particular favorite dress. For me, my motivation, apart from the more sensible sort of motivating factors of I want to become more insulin sensitive, whatever, my motivating factor is to see a flat tummy. I mean, even in my 20s, I never had a flat tummy. I would never wear a bikini because I wouldn't even, in fact, I was just so body conscious. I wouldn't stand in front of a mirror in my 20s and look at myself because I was skinny. I was a skinny vegetarian with no muscle mass because I never out, and I had a round tummy. As a vegetarian, of course, what do you eat? You eat tons of chickpeas and vegetables, which I couldn't. I had difficulty digest, but I believed that I was doing the right thing. So, and I hated looking at myself. So now that's one thing I really love. I just love standing in front of the mirror, looking at my tummy, and I'm thinking, am I really 50 now? I mean, really? I can finally put on, I can finally see my waistline. I didn't have a waistline, right? I mean, I wasn't fat. I never had excess weight, but I was probably toffee, thin on the outside and, fat on the inside. I probably had, not probably, I had visible fat in my abdominal area. So I had no waistline. I did not have a waistline. And I remember after my first child, I was having a intimate conversation with my mom. And I said, Mom, I just hate that I kind of look squarish from, like, if you look at me on my two sides, I kind of look square. I can't wear dresses unless the dress itself has some kind of a waist kind of to it. So to give my body shape, I just don't seem to have a waistline. And she said something like, oh, well, I mean, you're growing older, right? I was in my 30s at the time. So you're growing older. You had a baby last year. Besides, she said, it's genetic. I mean, look at me, look at grandma. We don't have slim waistlines either. So when I started low carbing and fasting, that's something else that I noticed. I could finally, in my late 40s, I started seeing a waistline. I actually had a waistline, but it was always covered with fat tissue. And so I had no understanding of nutrition and diet and fitness. And I cherish, I think that's one thing perhaps I should have done earlier in my life, like study nutrition and become a nutrition researcher. Of course, we can't go back and change, our life. But if I had, I think I would have benefited from the knowledge that I have now much earlier, a decade ago.
Yeah, for sure. And I love that story about you have a waistline. I have a waistline too, and I never really had one, not at least after high school. So it's nice to have that back. And who knew that you could get it later in life? Because all you hear is, once you pass 40, it's just like, you're just going to get fat and that's the end of it. Like, just don't expect anything else. There's nothing you can do about it. And actually that's not true. So I'm glad to hear that for you too.